What's up, guys? This is Damian with Kosh Online, and as you can see, we've got the Galaxy S3 here, and we're going to do a little an overview of the Galaxy S3. We're going to start first off with the Pebble Blue color. As you can see, this is the Sprint 16 gigabyte Pebble Blue version, and the color is pretty beautiful. You know, I really in pictures and video, it was kind of like the Evo 4G LTE. It kind of was like, you know, I could kind of pass on it. But when you see it in person, it's a lot more nice looking than it looks on the videos and pictures. I've actually had quite a few compliments on the color of this phone. It's my first phone that wasn't just a black, or, you know, even going back to the old HTC Hero days, a grayish, you know, platinum type phone. So it's definitely a looker. The build quality, you know, it's a really nice build quality. There's a lot been said, and I kind of alluded to this on the unboxing, but it's probably the greatest plastic that I've seen used on a phone. You almost can't even tell that this is plastic. You know, if we tap against it, it almost feels like, you know, it feels solid. It doesn't feel like plastic at all. So if you're worried about this thing feeling like, you know, a toy, basically, it doesn't feel like a toy. It feels like a proper Android device, a high quality one at that, because this is a beast. I'm not going to unveil specs and stuff. You guys, you already know the specs of this phone. It's a 4.8-inch screen, Super AMOLED HD screen. And for the American market, this is not the Exynos processor. It's a 1.5 gigahertz dual-core Snapdragon S4 processor, the same processor that is in the Evo 4G LTE. So, you know, I've been hearing people say that they've been having lag or, you know, jitteriness on their Evo 4G LTE. I haven't experienced the same thing with my Evo, so I can't speak for them, but I will say that if you experience the lag or jitteriness on the Evo 4G LTE and you think it's a processor, then, I mean, it's the same processor in this phone. So, you know, that kind of says it could be, you know, optimization of the software. You know, it could always be that. Who knows? But I haven't experienced that. Both phones have been very smooth for me. I will say that the Galaxy S3 is slightly more smoother than the Evo. I'm not sure if that's because of the additional 2 gigs of RAM. Yeah, that's right. This Galaxy S3, the Samsung Galaxy S3 for Sprint, AT&T, T-Mobile, and Verizon all have 2 gigs of memory. I don't know if that's a consolation prize for not including the Exynos processor, but I'll take it either way. It's very smooth. It's very smooth. If you remember the Galaxy S2, it was smooth too. I would say this is maybe even a tad bit more smoother than the Galaxy S2, so that's really saying something. Now, as far as software, Samsung has kind of realized that they're going to go a different route than a lot of other manufacturers of Android. They're not just going to go hardware. They're going to mainly focus on software. And this thing is jam-packed with software. I mean, guys, from the ability to detect if you're looking, you see that? It just popped up. It'll notice that you're not looking at the display and automatically dim the display, because it doesn't sense that your eyes are actually looking at the display. I can't get it to pop up because I'm kind of to the side here, but it does it work? It's kind of iffy. You know, it works sometimes. There it is. It works sometimes, and as you can see, the eye is popping up, and I'm not anywhere near the camera for it to be able to detect that. But you know, it's the little things that count, and that's just one little thing that helps. Another software application that is an exclusive to the Galaxy S3 is, I know you guys haven't really heard about this, right? S-Voice. Yeah, everyone wants to talk about S-Voice. Do I like S-Voice? No, not really at all. I mean, you know, we're Android guys. We're used to.
I'm not sure what you mean by haven't really heard about this, right? As we get there that everyone wants to last week.
Exactly. This thing, S-Voice is more an annoyance to me than anything else. We've all been used to, you know, the voice, you know, dictation and everything with Android. We've been having that since, wow, you know, years ago, guys. So I mean, I personally think it was fine the way it was. This S Voice app, basically, if a ROM, when I ROM this thing, I may be deleting that because I absolutely have no use for that at all. But you know, your mileage may vary, so maybe you'll like S Voice. I can tell you one thing that there's not really a lot that it can do right now. The only thing that I can, you know, consistently get it to work on is that it will tell the weather, you know, but you know, how easy is it just to go to the weather app and there's my weather, you know, so, you know, different strokes for different folks though, so maybe you like that. So I'm going to start telling you guys a few things that I just absolutely love about the Galaxy S3. And the number one thing is I thought that the Evo 4G LTE battery was excellent. I want you guys to take a look at my battery stats. 14 hours. 14 hours, 42 minutes, 34 seconds, and I'm still at 6%. It's part of the reason why I wanted to film this video, guys, as I'm filming this right now, because I wanted you to see how, you know, great battery life. I've only had this, I got it on a Friday, so you know, I haven't had a long time to be able to test it out. With the Evo 4G LTE, it took a while in order to be able to get it to, you know, the batteries to prime it up, you know, for top notch. I think the first time I got the Evo, it was already dead because, you know, the customs thing. But it also, once I fired it up, I was getting maybe 6, 7 hours, 8 hours, and then it gradually moved into, I average about 10 hours on the Evo 4G LTE if I'm doing a lot of like powered things. If I casually use it, then, you know, maybe 12. This thing out of the gate, I've been using it like crazy. I was asleep for majority of, well, actually no, I actually didn't go to sleep until 2, so about 4 or 5 hours of sleep. So this thing has been, I've been using it the whole time and shooting this video. It's got an excellent battery on it, you know, and it's the thing that it beats the Evo 4G LTE on and all the other 1 series devices is it's a removable battery. It's a 2100 milliamp hour removable battery. So only 100, you know, more milliamps than the Evo 4G LTE, but out of the gate, you guys, it's definitely looking like it's going to be a lot better battery life. And that's not saying, you know, that's saying a lot because the Evo gets pretty good battery life. So back to the Galaxy S3. Another thing that I like, you know, I thought that it might take some time to get used to the physical home button. I love the physical home button actually. I don't know what it is, and it's hard to describe it. Just, you know, play with the Galaxy S3, or when you first get a Galaxy S3, you might feel the same way. But after a while, it really does. Like, I like this. I like the capacitive buttons. I like having the menu button on screen all the time. And then they basically, when they disappear, they disappear. You can't even tell that they're there. Sometimes I'm like just looking at the phone, and I don't know if you can see, but like you really just cannot see that they're there until, and then bam, there they are. So I like that about the Galaxy S3, and it is very smooth. I will say, I'm going to put myself out there, I think this is the smoothest Android phone ever created. Look, the Evo was smooth, but it's just, there's no lag at all. The Evo doesn't really lag. It has the occasional hiccup. There we go, our battery is going out. But the Evo has its occasional lag. It's not much at all. Not much at all, but it does tend to have the very rare occasional, wow, can I get the battery? Occasional lag to it. Okay guys, so I brought in the Epic 4G Touch just for comparison purposes, and as you can see, you know, they're Samsung devices. They have the Samsung feel. This Epic 4G Touch is actually ROM running, I think it's Venom ROM or Viper ROM, I'm not sure, but both devices are thin. I mean, at this point, guys, the devices are so thin. Even though they're crazy thin, the differences are so small. You know, they're both still thin devices. but the Samsung Galaxy S3, it just feels like it's in a whole nother class compared to the Epic 4G Touch. As far as in hand, the feel is the Epic 4G Touch is it's still smooth, but you can definitely if you look at them together, you can tell that the Galaxy S3 is the evolution. They got to that point. The Galaxy S2 definitely feels like it was the device that led to the Galaxy S3. So make no mistakes about it. A lot of people are saying, "Oh, well, do I need to switch out from my Galaxy S2, my Epic 4G Touch?" If you want the greatest and the best and the greatest out right now, yeah, you definitely want to. It's if you've just been watching videos, as you can see, comparison of the thinness. If you've been watching videos and things online, it doesn't really equate to what you see when you're actually handling devices. This Galaxy S3 is in every way better than the Epic 4G Touch. So I just wanted to clear that out. Clear that up, you guys, before we move on. I know a lot of you guys want to see them like side by side, so here you go, side by side. The Epic 4G Touch is still a looker, still a looker. So to my other thing that I alluded to on the unboxing, the cord. Actually, there's no way with the Evo 4G LT that I could be able to film this while recording, because the Evo 4G LT cord is just not that long in order to be able to reach behind my desk and to where my phone is. So that's a good thing. I like having the ability to kind of stretch that cord out, and be more mobile wherever I'm doing my videos. So that's another thing that I do like about the Galaxy S3. And guys, there's so many software tweaks that Samsung did, and so many things that they included in software wise. I could film 3 or 4 videos. I mean, we're gonna go into the settings and we'll see. Like there's the actually, I want to show you this first. There's the ability to, when you grab an app, say you want to throw it on screen, just tilt the phone and you can do that way. Okay, so that's one extra. And now let's say if I am browsers are gone. Let's say, and we can zoom in by just putting 2 fingers on, and that feature's been there since the Galaxy S2 and TouchWiz. Then can't forget the ability, if you look away from the screen will dim. And then we'll go to menu and check out some of the other software tweaks with one of a million, it seems like, software tweaks that there's the motion. So there's the ability that if you're texting someone and you're in the middle of texting, all you have to do is just pick the phone up, hold it to your ear, and it'll automatically start to call them. I'm not even going to try to explain all the tweaks, you guys, because to be honest with you, I haven't even had a chance to experience all of them, because I've only had the device for a little over 24 hours now. So I'm not going to even lie to you. I don't know all of the tweaks, but there's a lot. There's shake to update. It's a ton of them. There's a ton of them. If you pick up this device, which I highly recommend that you do, because I'm part of Team Evo. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I'm part of Team Evo. Okay, guys, we're gonna break this video up a little bit now because it's starting to get a little long. I'm gonna break it into 2 parts. Like I said earlier, I could do 3, 4, 5 videos on the Galaxy S3. Not gonna do that to you. I'm gonna condense it down to 2 parts. So check the links up top somewhere, and we'll get back to this in round 2 of the video.